Hey Goodfellas! Today we're going to do a one-to-one comparison between the Caran Leman and the Graf von Faber-Castell Classic in ebony. Now, why these two pieces? Because I think that we're talking about two iconic pens of the industry, and I'd like to see what are the different peculiarities and how do they compare one next to each other, because I think that most probably this customer could also be this customer, but if you're trying to decide between one and the other, you're going to find out everything you need to know about these two specific pieces. So we're going to analyze the features, where they're produced, we're going to weigh them, and we're going to also test both of these. Now, the Caran Leman is a pen like each Caran pen that is produced in Switzerland, in Geneva, in their manufactory, while the Graf von Faber-Castell is produced in Germany. You can see that the Graf von Faber-Castell features a natural material, which is kind of interesting, also with a very nice guilloche on the barrel. And while on the Caran we're talking about a lacquered piece, which can be sandblasted, it can be matte or shining finishing. There are some pieces that have a very nice guilloche decoration and then is over lacquered, like the Rouge Carmin or the Nuit or the Grand Bleu. In this case, I decided to take the black matte. Now, I'd like to point out first a few peculiarities and features of the Caran Leman. Overall, when you pick up this pen, it feels like it has a very nice weight, so it gives you that sense of quality. Some people sometimes, when they take a heavier pen, they're like, it looks like it's too heavy, but I always recommend to test it and to actually see if the weight might not be a plus for a pen. Now, personally, I think that the design of the Caran Leman is very, very well made. I like all the proportions of this pen, the clip, how it goes from a bit fatter to thinner underneath. I personally own both of these pens and I'm really happy with both, I have to say. But if we talk about the Caran, I'm always very happy about the design aspect when I look at it. If you uncap it, the feeling is absolutely marvelous. So this is definitely a plus point for Caran. So uncapping it is a beauty. It has a metal platinum plated grip section with an 18 karat gold nib, and this pen can be filled with cartridge or converter. So cartridge or converter, you can pull off the converter, if I'm not wrong, by unscrewing it. Yes, so when you pull it in, it's very, very steadily fastened, which I think is a very, very good point. Let's go over to the Graf von Faber-Castell Classic. Now, the Graf von Faber-Castell Classic is definitely a bit less heavy. What I find very interesting is the contrast between the end of the barrel, which is in metal, then we have the wooden barrel section, and then the platinum plated cap again. Now, the Graf von Faber-Castell Classic has become an icon in terms of design. I think that the two pieces are very well recognizable and they differ very, very much, remaining two classic pieces. When you uncap the Graf von Faber-Castell, it's also a very nice feeling. You don't have to, turn it too much. I have to say that I prefer the Caran one because it feels like, it's super precise and super, super smooth, but there's nothing to say about the Graf von Faber-Castell, to be honest. It's just, that little feeling that makes the difference on the Caran is really interesting. What I personally love is this wooden barrel, because the wooden barrel, depending if you take the Pernambouc or the Grenadilla, then it's going to live throughout the ages with you. You know how much I love that. I always say this also on the sterling silver, and I love the fact that it's a natural material, because you can feel that it's a natural material when you hold it in hand. It has that certain warmth, and over time, it will have maybe some scratches or some usage, but that's gonna make it even more your own pen. And also, I have to say that it's incredible how they have achieved to have this kind of precision with the wooden barrel, and the fact that it doesn't break, nothing, even if wood always actually lives, but the wooden doesn't break. So this is an extremely well manufactured fountain pen. You see that they feature a two-tone nib, which is absolutely awesome, 18 karat gold. Both of these that we're going to test are 18 karat, and also in this case we have converter or cartridge, no converter here for now, but it's always included with each single pen. One more thing I'd like to point out is the fact that the Graf von Faber-Castell is a bit on the thinner side, and there are gonna be novelties this year about Graf von Faber-Castell in terms of sizings, while the Caran Le Mans is a very interesting size between a Le Grand and a classic from for example, Mont Blanc Meisterstück, to make a comparison. So, you know, it's not a crazy difference. You can probably live very well with both of these sizes, but they are a bit different. Now, when I hold the Graf von Faber-Castell, it is very well balanced, very well balanced. It has a very good length, so it falls down perfectly, and I'm sure for riding, I know that for riding it is absolutely great. Same thing with the Caran. Personally, I think that it could have a bit more weight in the back, because I like to have a bit of the weight that then falls on my hand, but it's a very pleasant pen. It has overall a certain weight, and it is very well balanced at the end of the day. So I have to say that these pens are both conceived in a very, very practical and intelligent way. Now, let's weigh the pen and see how much they actually weigh. And we're gonna start with the Caran. The Caran is approximately 54. So 54 is quite heavy. If you think that Design 08 is around 79, we're talking here about, you know, quite a massive piece. It's not exaggerated, but it is quite a massive piece. Think that the Meisterstück is around 24, 26 grams. So this is double the Meisterstück. Now let's see the Graf von Faber-Castell. So we are at 39, for example. So you see, 54 we said, 39, there are 14 grams difference, 15 grams difference. It is quite a difference, not one that you will go crazy about it, but I personally love to be on the heavier side. So in terms of weight, I would personally go with the Caran if you prefer a pen that has a bit more weight, but overall, both pens deliver quite a nice touch and feel. And now the moment has arrived to test the nib of both these pieces. Let's do it. So I'm gonna dip the pens in the Shin-Ryoko ink of Pilot. I would say let's start with the Graf von Faber-Castell. Now obviously I'm only gonna dip it. Best way would be to actually fill up the pen, but these are pens that we're going to sell, so I cannot fill up each single pen. Let's go. This is a medium nib. You can see that it's a European medium because it has quite a width when writing. I have to say the balance is really good. The balance is really, really good. Flow is also great. A bit too thick for me, for a medium, to be honest. So if you're looking to have a bit finer width when you're writing, then you should really go for the F, or maybe even the extra fine, because they have the extra fine. But great feeling when writing. The nib is super smooth. It doesn't have flexibility, to be honest. I mean, well, it has a bit of flexibility, but it's not meant to flex it. So I would say it's rather a very precise instrument. Now let's go to the Caran Le Mans. 18 karat gold nib, not two-tone in this case. This one needs a bit of motivation. Okay, Caran. So, different feeling. The Graf von Faber-Castell was a bit smoother, but the Caran has a line which is a bit less thick. So I have the feeling that the Le Mans gives me more the sensation of a needle when writing, but not, you know, without exaggerating, while the Graf von Faber-Castell is just a bit more smooth when writing. I personally like the way the Caran writes a lot, but I have to say that in terms of balance with the barrel, I do like the fact that it has a bit more weight thanks to the metal in the back, while the Caran, because it goes, you know, narrower in the end, you lose a bit of weight in the end. So I have to give a plus point on the Caran regarding that. Great rider too. I mean, I knew it's a great rider, but I wanted to test this with you, so definitely a fantastic piece if to enjoy, and perfect daily rider. These are pens that you can trust. Also, Graf and Caran both have a fantastic after-sales service. Now, last thing, the pricing. The Caran Leman runs for 550 Swiss francs, so we're talking about $580, $590, while the Graf von Faber-Castell runs for 620 francs, which is about 650, 660 US dollar. So a bit more expensive, but we're in the same price range. Probably the pricing can be set because of the platinum plating. There's more plating, and also the material. You know, they actually took a natural material to work it, to manufacture it, to make the guilloche. It takes quite some time. Same thing for the Caran that is made in lacquering, because there are several layers of lacquer. There is the sandblasting, and there's a great precision with each single metal element. But just to give you an idea why these pens might have this price difference. Goodfellas, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one-to-one comparison. Let me know down in the comments which one of these you personally own and what your experience has been. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I know that a lot of you guys that are watching haven't subscribed yet. It helps me so much, and it doesn't cost you anything. Stay tuned, and don't forget that together we are changing the game.